All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders. What a eventful evening for you guys, or day for you guys. It was overnight for me.
10 seconds.
Yeah, we are waiting on a little bit more news. This stuff here. We're just gonna let that slide through, and then
4 million, that's higher than forecast. 3.97 million. Prior revised up to 3.88 million from 3.78 million as well. So note in this text release now from Fed's Jefferson says it's likely to be appropriate to begin cutting the policy rate later this year, possible to bring down inflation without substantial increase in unemployment. Labour market cools, and Jefferson expects core services inflation will continue to moderate. Three key risks are too resilient consumer spending, stalling the inflation progress, and employment weakening, as well as geopolitical risks remaining elevated as well. Jefferson said the Fed staff estimates show PCE price index rose 2.4% over the 12 months ending January, and noted that the January CPI data was disappointing, shows path down likely to be bumpy. Progress on inflation reflects supply and demand factors, as well as Fed policy tightness. Says the imbalance between labour demand and supply have narrowed. Does say, however, that continuing strength in spending is an upside risk to his inflation forecasts. He expects slower growth in spending and output this year as well. Fed Jefferson says he remains cautiously optimistic about the progress on inflation, will review the totality of data in assessing policy decisions. And the Fed needs to remain vigilant, nimble, and should not be surprised if unexpected shocks occur. Noting US Treasury yields trim losses after the US existing homes data as well. 10-year yields lost at around 4.318%. That's flat on the day, again following a Jefferson text release, as well as existing homes numbers.
all right, so that's done. So let's resume what we were talking about. Yesterday, we were looking to sell above the prior day's high, so in this area here. So that was all a big sell zone. It exceeded our expectations by about 2 boxes, a little bit more than 2 boxes. And if we drive focus into this and look a little closer, you can kind of see what happened right there. And so if we drive focus a little deeper even more right there, you'll notice we were up at the top for about 15 minutes. And so when I go back and look at the calendar for this time, I noticed that this was caused by the French PMIs, and then the German PMI brought it back down. And ever since then, it's been a bearish market, right? So when I look at the dollar index, in that same situation, the dollar index found support. The yields experienced a breakout, which we're now retesting, and I would expect further upside, right? So I'm expecting upside on the yields, upside on the dollar index, and therefore I would expect the euro to go down a little bit. And so with that mindset, I want to start building a ladder on this 5-minute chart, heading lower, right? So my mind is to sell tops. I want to sell green tops. And I want to do it as the market progresses lower as a result of the recent US numbers that just came out, right? So the US number basically reinforces the US strength, and you can see that in the euro, right? So we want to sell green, and we already know we've done more than an average, right? If you look at the day, we've exceeded an average by about 50%, right? So we've done 82, our average should be 53. We've exceeded the average by about 63%, right? And so let me remove this and measure that. And we want to be bearish on any kind of up leg, right? Any green up legs, we want to sell that right there. Right? If it pushes up a little bit more, I want to sell it. Right? And my target is 3 pips. And so my target is readily achievable, right? An average bar happens to be 3 pips. Right? So I'm only trying to catch an average bar, right? If the market happens to try and retest the lows, I make money. If the market goes up, I will sell more, I will average more, as such. And so you saw that little white line move up. That's creating an average of 2 trades. And as it pushes up more, I sell more. I bring the average with me. Right? Do I think it's going up to the moon? No. If I'm selling 3 to 4 boxes worth. Right? I'm selling a pullback. And in this case, it's a bearish trend. That should be a bear pullback. And I'm selling a bear pullback in order to make money this way. Right? I just don't know if it's going here, 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 or here. Like where will this down leg start? Right? Because we don't know where it's starting, we have to assume it could start anywhere. And so we have to basically take each trade. Right? We already made money and we've been trading for less than 6 minutes. Let's see if we can do that again. Right? If it tests up here, as it's doing right now, right? Testing the current resistance right here. I took a trade. Wow, extremely. Expectations have all been met on all levels, right? This is bigger than average. A sideways approach makes sense. And considering what's happening with the dollar index and the 10-year yields, I would expect it maybe around 750 by tomorrow. All right, there's a sell right there. All right, I'm just putting 3. How many do I have here? Oh, sorry, 4. I have all 4. Okay. All right, so I have 4 in my box number 1. Now I have box 2, box 3, and box 4 that I can fill with more trades. Right, so I need to figure out where more trades will be. Right, on the 5-minute chart. Let's go check the ladder. All right, again, this is just drawn with my mind's eye. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just looking, I'm trying to pick up where price action found, you know, a resting area or a turn, you know, something like this, right inside here. Right? I get 3 candles, I get 4, 5, 6. Right? And then this right around here. Right? I'm just doing this with my mind's eye. And it happens to line up over time. The average of all this happens to be around 9 pips. Right? So here we are closing a few more trades. And we want to repeat this. Wow, it's a very small group today. I wonder if a few people got hurt overnight. Oh, did I forget to post a link? Yes, sorry, my apologies. I forgot to upload the link. Hardcore traders know the trick. Good, I won't mention it on air. Good, 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 good. But no, ideally, the plan has not changed since yesterday. You know, we've been wanting to sell high for a long time, uh, for a few days, and now we get the chance, right? We've built positions for this. My apologies, people. I forgot to post the link in the chat. My fault. It's entirely my fault. I've been talking for about 10 minutes. So, just to reiterate for the people that I messed up, it's, sorry, I have to burp. So, the news is out. Now, the French PPI pushed everything above our expectations. The German PPI brought everything back to our expectations. We've been short ever since. The US PPI resumes the direction that we would expect, and we've been selling green candles as such, right? So anything that pushes up and pushes into resistance of sorts, we want to take part in that as a sell, right? And the reason why we're bearish the euro is because we are bullish the USD, right? The US dollar index Dixie has found support overnight and has been bullish ever since, while the yields experienced a breakout overnight, and we're retesting that break and possibly going to continue from it, right? So that gives me a lot of confidence in my bearish euro. And so anything like this right here at resistance, take a sell, right? And you're not spending the bank here. You're not breaking the bank. You're not mortgaging the house. You're taking one microscopic trade. In my case, there are 2 micro lots. Right? I just don't want to fight the incoming tide, right? Even though we've exceeded an average day of work, right, by about 60% or so, it doesn't say anything about not continuing, maybe, you know, another box. You know, there's times when we do 2 days in one, just like there's days when we do half of an ADR, right? Jack in the box. We've been winding up this jack in the box for a few days now, and apparently it popped. Right, so there's a sell. Right now, think about, because we're selling right now doesn't mean you're going to be selling tomorrow. And then it doesn't mean you're going to be selling in an hour from now either. Right? Anything can happen. And so we're looking at levels, and then as we approach these levels, you start to anticipate the next move, right? Something off of that level. In my case, I'm looking at that yellow line, right? And I've been playing this off of that yellow line, right? A bounce up, I sell it, right? The bounce up, I sell it. The bounce up. Now I'm in box number 2. I put 2 clicks there, and I'm saving 2 clicks for maybe up here. All right, so the target is over here. Right, so any kind of a move higher, we want to take advantage on the short side. That's kind of the resolution for today. Right, so considering what may happen next, right, a pullback, can you take that kind of heat, right? Can you psychologically be wrong and still hold on, right? And so stuff like this right there will have people throwing in the towel, right? I'm booking a whole bunch of red stuff here. It's actually not booked, right? These are open trades, work in progress. And so I'm in control of the outcome still. I choose what happens to these open trades, right? All the way up to here. Anything in this space is my choice. This is an ejection seat, and I can't disobey the ejection seat, right? I can find a way to maybe recover the airplane before I eject, right? But eject is a must. If you get there, you get there. Right? So this is what we're kind of looking for. I'm trying to move that line out of my way. There we go. And move back here. That's a sell. Right? And then ultimately we have the top of this box right there. And then if we happen to break, we break into box number 3, which will entitle us to a few more clicks that actually belong in that area. Right? We're building a position with an ultimate outcome on the downside. I want to go back and touch that yellow line. Right? We have to remember the market is not a one-way train. It's not straight shot to the South Pole. There'll be pullbacks, especially timely pullbacks. You know, we look at the clock, we know who's doing what, as in circadian rhythm. Right? The calendar is light for us for the rest of the day. I think we're looking at oil news and stuff like this. Yeah. Right, so we have it light for the rest of the morning. Right, consider how much the markets move already. You have to think limited scope, right? Don't think South Pole, think one box at a time and keep it contained, keep it within 1 to 2 boxes. If you think you're wrong, bail in box number 2. You don't have to build and build and build. These are all choices that we make, right? Nothing here is a for sure thing. And so you have to be ready to be wrong with your choice. Trust me, I've been in a corner, cowered in a fetal position in tears because I thought I was okay with my risk. And apparently I
So
wasn't.
looking now to the fear and greed index, currently sitting at 78 out of 100. That indicates greed. Crypto fear and greed index, 74 out of 100, indicating greed as well. We're keeping on the VIX as well. It's up at 14.25%. It's at 14.25 points on the session. That's down 7% on the session so far.
There we are, making money with the intended direction playing out. Again, for those that came in late, I totally apologize. I forgot to post the link in the group. In case you don't know, it's the same link every day. And so just keep that on your calendar and come and see me every day at the same time with the same link. There you are. We're testing 08. Right? Originally, my main concern was somewhere around this area here, 825, 830, right? This zone. If I can get the drawing tool, there we are. This zone up here, that's an important area. If we go all the way back, come on, it's back here. There it is. This is what we're looking for. This. Put a line there. And remove this. So I want to sell all the way up here if I can. That would be about $4 from where we are. And three, yeah, $3 to $4. Right, so if I
In
push,
10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, see the release of the weekly EIA natural gas change forecast. It looks for a drop.
yeah, I don't need the oil numbers. And so a move back up here, I'll be a seller all the way up there, right? Repeating what we're doing here. And we just don't know if it will happen and how if it does. We're ready, willing, and able. We're not going against the tide. And so it's the bigger picture that we have to keep in mind. A pullback is coming, right? We would expect it. It makes sense. It's averages playing out. Probabilities kind of support it. And so we're trading the probability that this is the beginning of something, that may lead back to here. And that happens to be this yellow line right there. Right, so this is the breakout we've been in for 3 days now. And in my mind, I think we're going to be retesting this area. Today's close will be important to support this hypothesis. One hour. Right, so if you think in terms of slowing momentum down, that's kind of what we have here, right? A large bar, a medium-sized bar with a wick, an even smaller bar with a wick, right? All of that may lead to something like this, right? And then a resumption like that. And so we want to be selling this so that we can make our money here. If we happen to be selling on the way up and it's not finished going down, we close our winners. If we sell on the way up and it's not finished going up, you eventually run out of money or run out of boxes or both. And there's always risk. My good buddy James has been missing from the room for a few days. I hope he's doing well. Him and his wife got COVID a little while back, and I haven't seen him in the list of attendees here. I'm gonna check up on him. Yeah, some people are expecting to buy this. Go ahead. You can make money. And you could have made 3 pips, 3 pips, 3 pips. Right? I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to the dollar index on a 4 hour chart, continuing what it has started. Right? So this is in my mind, a 3 bar reversal on a 4 hour chart. This is only the beginning. Right? So I'm going to be selling any kind of resistance, right? Anything that offers red thereafter, right? So if it's green, 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 it's offering red thereafter. I should have sold right there. I forgot to click my mouse. Right, the overextension is valid. You're absolutely right to be wanting to buy this, right? Considering you might only be here for an hour or two, that's maybe the right thing for you to do, right? There's money to be made. Average bars, right, is what we're trading. We're not trading destination, right? We're trading momentum. We're extracting momentum from volatility. Like we're milking the cow for 3 pips, 3 pips, 3 pips. I don't care which way the cow is standing, as long as it's not standing on me. So yeah, the last thing you want to do is bet the barn, right? So don't put all of your eggs in that one basket. And what we're doing in order to avoid that behavior is we're spreading that risk through multiple boxes. And that's what I'm hoping to do here, right? I don't want to be buying, 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 buying because this can come at any time, right? This is the beginning. This is the beginning. The next resumption can come at any time. I don't want to get stuck with this. I want to use this to make money here. Right? There's times when the overextension is a a useful tool. We fade something like that. And that's what you would have done over here when it went way past our expectations. Right? That's a overextended move that you know, in this case it's increasing momentum, right? It's speeding up, small, medium, large, and that exhausted and rolled over. Right? So there's a good time to fade and there's a wrong time to fade. And on the leg down, on this leg down, fading, so doing the opposite is probably not our wisest bet. I think intermediate term, right? Think this. Right? So it's the fear of the unknown, right? Has us chasing what's happening right here, right now. And in reality, the unknown is really, really close to what's already happened in the past. As long as you can average the past, you have a pretty good idea of what the unknown is capable of. And then it's not so scary anymore, right? You can exploit this in order to make your money, in this direction. Right? So right there, it, in my mind, that dollar index 3 bar reversal is really what I'm trading. And this is a byproduct of that 3 bar reversal. right? All of this is a byproduct of that 3-bar reversal. We probably see it the same way here. 4-hour chart, 3-bar reversal. As long as this, it's already closed below the measure bar, this initiated a trend. Right? This is the measure bar. This is the trigger bar. Five minutes. We have to watch how we behave around these ladders, these rungs, and we want to be selling these rungs back towards the 835, 840 area. Take a sell right there. Actually, I'll take 2. I've only got 6 open trades right now. Come on. Right, so in today's environment, it's really the intermediate move that is our guiding light. Right, the intermediate move being what's happening on the 1-hour chart, support, failure of holding support, the ceiling, the floor, expecting the floor maybe to give way, right? If the floor doesn't give way, then we're range bound until maybe tomorrow when the floor should give way, right? It's because of that higher time frame outlook, what we see on the 4-hour chart, what we see on the daily, right? It doesn't bode well for the euro. Right? This right there is not very attractive for the euro. That's why I kind of want to be selling anything inside here for the next leg down. All right. It's how you sell, when you sell, how much you sell, keeping the targets consistent, never touching the stop losses, right? So we lose consistently if we lose. Ideally, we're playing within averages. Events like this morning when the French PMI just blows the doors off, considering the French farmers have been in the streets, it's kind of strange. So long story short, expect the unexpected. We knew what to do here, but this was not, as expected. Doesn't mean you can't get back on your horse and make your money back. Right? So play with the next move in mind. Right? So if you're trying to do this with a little bit more precision, you're going to be picking off the candles like a sniper. You're going to be doing it within the boxes, right? And if you break from one box to the next box, null and void, close all, right? If you're trading futures with this approach, you have to be diligent with your loss. You can't and awe. There's no second guessing yourself. Right? The yields are holding up, which is a good sign for us. Again, just for those that weren't here when I shown this the first time, On our 4-hour chart, the dollar index, Dixie, has found support. This is a 4-hour, so I typically don't look at the 4 hours, but people with accounts with many zeros in it look at the 4-hour chart, and so I want to see what they're doing. I can see 3-bar reversal off of a 200-day moving average. I can see the US 10-year yield experienced a breakout. We're now retesting that break, and it seems to be holding. Otherwise, we'd be down here somewhere. Right, so as that break holds, and we suspect it continues to break out, what will come of the euro? Right, the euro should eventually make lows. Right, so this sounds strange, it feels weird because the market's going up and I'm selling it. And so those of you that are trying to follow are also selling it, and you're probably wondering what the hell you're doing or what the hell I'm doing. And I'm not too worried about it. I kind of have an idea, and I want to play the idea, right? I have plan A in my mind, this delusion that's in my mind, like an architect, right? And then I have to put that on paper, right? So that's my plan A, my plan B, my plan C, my plan D. And then I hand the paper over to the guy that actually builds this stuff, right? The guy that does construction, takes the architect's blueprints. And so it's a 2-step process. I have to execute in that same fashion. Right? I'm creating a plan, I'm executing the plan, and then on the back end, I am managing the losers. Because according to the plan, I have nothing to do with the wins. The market takes care of those. Right? So my job is to manage plan A and the losers. And therefore, that's when plan B, C, and D come into place, right? That's where building drawdown is a necessary evil. Right? So right here, right now, I'll take a sell trade. I'm at 7, I'll bring that up to 8. So now I have 2 boxes of risk with the allotment spread, right? I've spread those 2 boxes of risk already. So considering we're only looking at the euro, when you look across the board at the other currencies, the other major pairs, you'll see a similar event has taken place overnight, right? The euro strength is expressed across the board. That's a lot of correlation telling you something there. We don't want to fight that tide. Right? If we do revisit the highs, considering anything is possible, if we do revisit the highs, 890, 910, we'll be selling that too. Right? So put it this way, if this fails to work, I'm going to try it here, and I'm going to try it there, I'm going to try it here and there. Right? I don't give up on my favorite sports team. And there's a reason why. The macro picture, the geopolitical stuff happening, there's reasons why I put my money on the US. Right? The pullback up is what people see as a reversal, and it's really just a pullback, right? It's not necessarily worth the risk. And so this is where we weigh the odds, and hence the top-down analysis tells you the dominant side to pick. And if you choose to go against that dominant side, the risk is elevated. So it requires, that you be a little bit more ready to pull the trigger, on the loss. You don't want to be the bag holder, especially counter trend. Right? So anything can happen. I might be totally wrong here. And, buying the bottom might be the way to go. I just don't think this is the bottom. It may be the bottom today, like as we speak for this hour, but there's still another hour and a half of overlap between Europe and North America. So we got to take that into consideration. Right. I'm structuring for the next leg, the intermediate leg, right? This. I'm selling this so that I can make money here. And hopefully, with any kind of luck, we end up, somewhere like this by tomorrow, Friday. All right, so there's a sell. If you can take it right now, right at this level right here. All right, don't bet everything on there, just put one. And if you can't afford it, don't take it. Save your money for selling higher, more expensive stuff, right? Bring up the average. This right there is what I'm targeting. All right, a move back to 840 is not out of the question. That's it. Right. Chasing this is what we don't want to be doing. We want to take advantage of this because of the bigger picture. Right? Having broken that support area / resistance, it's critical in my mind. It's critical that we come and maybe retest that break. And I want to be part in that. I want to take part of that on the sell side. Right, so we're closing a few more winners. Hey, there is James. I was just talking about you, friend. I was hoping you'd be around. There you are. Yay. Nice to see you're feeling good. Good enough to trade. Awesome. Hardcore. Yeah. All the way up to around here somewhere. We want to be, I'm going to be a seller. And then I'll just play the range. And playing the range is not, in my mind today, specifically not ping pong, but rather, I'm paying from one side only. Yeah, so you survived COVID. Yeah, good for you, man. Hope your wife is awesome too. She's doing well. Good, good. COVID, man, nasty business. Perfect. All right, so be ready for a little bit more heat, right? This this small range that we're in right now, 2 boxes. Why not experience an extra box, right? That'd be normal market behavior. Market is not in the business of giving you free money, but instead it's trying to take it from you, right? And your job every day is to choose whether you're on the menu or at the table. I choose at the table. And, that's kind of why I follow the process that I have. It shows me what's on the menu. Couple more winners. These trades will be recycled, maybe on the next push. Right? This is the part people will have a tough time grasping. We have to have open trades, so work in progress, in order to make money. So if you're not floating drawdown, if you don't have a float in your cash register, your business is not in business. Perfect. All right. Another push ever so slightly higher, and we're going to be selling that. Right? We want to sell this stuff up here. If you're not sure if you'll be here for this, put a couple of pending trades up there. In my case, I just right click. I can put a sell limit. I can put maybe 2 or 3 planned ahead. And I can go grab a coffee, enjoy my morning at the beach. I can come back and see whether I've been triggered into my plan or not. Right? Remember, the next leg. I'm going to keep repeating this every day, so you're going to get sick of me. You're trading the next leg, right? Just like Wayne Gretzky played hockey. He was always where the puck would end up. How did he do that? Oh, because he was thinking one move ahead. Just like chess players play chess. Right? We trade in the same fashion. We expect the past to replicate somewhat, and that gives us an idea of what the future holds. And we react to what is abnormal. Right? So I missed an opportunity to trade right there because I'm wanting to see if it goes a little bit higher. I'm clicking sparingly. Right? I'd hate to be leading everyone in the group here off a cliff. Right? That's kind of the stress I choose to operate with. All right. This. These are all opportunities in the making. Just to double check, yesterday's events. How did yesterday do? This is yesterday. I marked in the video that I closed everything in profit. However, I lied. I had one trade that broke literally at, I think it was like 0.3 of a pip at a loss. And I didn't even see that when I posted the video. And so, but yeah, one loss, everything else was a win. Day before, same thing. Day before, same. Oh, this is our day before. The day before that, we had break even. One break even and 3 green days. And maybe this will be a 4th green day. Yeah, being the bag holder hurts, especially when I'm trading in this fashion. I feel the pain with every click that's wrong. So it's not one big bad trade. It's like a whole bunch of ants crawling up, right? It's really annoying when it's multiple trades heading in the wrong direction. What we have to understand is that the layers are actually working in our favor, right? Because we're operating within averages. It's a standard deviation, plus or minus. The layers give you that plus or minus. Right, so this is recycling some of our trades, right? Any kind of a push back up is sell, sell, sell. You're repeating this, right? We don't want to fight the incoming tide, right? That being this 3-bar reversal right here, right? You don't want to be fighting this, right? So you do want to take part as a seller, right? But you're not buying any of this. Okay. Let's see if we can close some of these trades. I'd love to be done the recording, quicker than waiting a few hours to close a handful of trades, which has been the case lately. All right, the fun's only beginning. We still have 10 more months of this. All right, on our 5-minute chart, we're testing this zone right around here. Let's move this line. This, 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 this. Another 8 minutes, 8 or 10 more minutes or so. I'll have to let you guys go, but we do have a plan. We know what to do. We know how to survive, and preferably we just will be entitled to closing these trades and walking away risk-free. Right? We're not looking to make all of our years of losses back in one day. Sounds like cells are coming through. Come on. Oh, come on. This is nuts. They tickle, tickle, tickle. It's like a bunch of ants crawling up your leg. Bum, 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 bum. Right. The calendar is super light for the rest of the morning as far as we're concerned. We're just heading into the fix. Right. The UK fix is scheduled in about 3 minutes or so. And then we'll have, you get set up for the banker's close, and then the actual close takes place. These are all circadian events that we take advantage of, right? It brings with those events volatility, and we extract momentum from that volatility. So it's, ideally a range within a range, and you're picking off the extremes. We just got to be careful how you spend your money, have a plan, and then execute the plan. And lo and behold, the probabilities are survivable. And if the plan is wrong, you have the opportunity to fix it. Right? You'll be allowed to take 4 more clicks. It's this fixing that keeps you coming back the next day. Even when we have break-even days, we engineer an exit on purpose, right? It's kind of lessening the load or lessening the pain load that we should be sustaining. All right, just a few more minutes. I'll have to let you guys go. But the plan remains the same. It's nice to see things come together. All right, the excessiveness, these extra 2 boxes, I'm sure I've caused grief to a few of you. Anybody that started selling in this zone here between the 2 red lines, right? If you were selling in here, chances of getting out basically were dependent on your entry, right? Our target is 3 pips. And so if you're selling the tops of these candles, you might or might not squeeze by. And so odds are this right here may have closed at 36 pips up there, right? So this is the kind of stuff that, this is the stuff of nightmare, right? We know what to do, but then when you see the French PMI go beyond expectations, 15 minutes later, the German PMI comes along and wrecks what had just taken place. We're right back in the range, and here we are back on the horse, making 3 pips, 3 pips, 3 pips, 3 pips as a short, right? As expected. This right there is what was above and beyond expectations. And yet it was, survivable depending on where you started playing in here. So here we are closing some trades, expecting some kind of support in this area and maybe a higher high, right? Maybe a higher high before we go down. Anything's possible, right? Just because it is going down, right, doesn't mean we don't want to sell if it goes back up like it's doing now. I'll take 1. 30 seconds and I'll have to let you guys go, but I'm leaving you with the plan. Right? Just the plan is simple. Don't touch your stop losses. And if you're given the opportunity, sell it a little bit more, right? Expect more downside. Right? So take advantage of more downside by buying or sorry, selling things that are on sale. Okay? And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same everything. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Trade safe, everyone.